Welcome, I'm Dave Kaiser, a member of the Business Education Partnership Committee with the North Hennepin Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm joined by two gentlemen from Caterpillar Incorporated. They are right here in the Brooklyn Park area. With me, Terry Healy, Value Stream Manager, Product Manager with Caterpillar in the field for 28 years, and Kevin Adams, next to him, Worldwide Sales and Marketing Support Manager at Caterpillar and been in the industry for 24 years. We talked in an earlier segment about the education and some of the experience they received. Now we're jumping ahead to the career and actually how the career has evolved over time. A few of the things that they noted as we get into the first area of questioning. Terry, you went through the Caterpillar training program and it was a number of different divisions, many opportunities to meet people. Kevin, the co-op program, and then a full list of different steps as you've advanced through Caterpillar. Terry, let's start with you a little bit about the training program and why, as you started in your career, it was important to try a little bit of everything and meet a little bit of everyone.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in engineering. You're taking classes in college, so you get exposed to some things, but I didn't know if I wanted to test equipment, whether I wanted to design equipment, whether I wanted to analyze things. So Caterpillar had an excellent program where they brought you in for a year. You got to work with many different divisions, try a bunch of different things, and then you got to select at the end of the year where you would start. So it was an excellent way to introduce you, network with a lot of people. Coming out of that year, I met people all over the company. So it's just a great kickstart to your career.
And how long did you stay in engineering, and when did you turn the page to something else, and why did you do that?
And for me, I had interest in other areas. Business always intrigued me, and I spent 8 years in engineering with Caterpillar. So I spent a variety of time doing the testing, the designing, the various types of engineering, developing products, but really had a passion for business and understanding how businesses work. And I chose after 8 years to switch into marketing. I went and pursued an MBA, so I took some classes in the business area to get me prepared for that.
Okay. Kevin, let's talk a little bit about your career overview. A little bit of everything. Tell us about the journey quickly of how that happened.
Yeah, I started as an engineer, much like Terry at Caterpillar, and I was an engineer, I think, for about a little over 2 years as a design engineer. And as I was actually working on a project, one of my projects as an engineer with one of the marketing people, and we started talking a little bit about his role, and he was actually a trainee at Caterpillar, and it again unfolded a door, and I said, hey, that sounds very interesting. As an engineer, you tend to people think you sit behind a computer all day, and, there's more to it than that. And so I pursued that, and that really kind of led me into the marketing side at Caterpillar. And I started on the technical side, was the path, which then led to the sales side. So I kind of had a two-step process from an engineer, utilizing your skill set to the technical side in the field, supporting our dealers and customers, and then moving to more of a sales-oriented role, which is then was probably the last half of my career is on the sales side.
Do you both still use your engineering skills on a day-to-day basis?
For me,
or that knowledge helps you in your job?
Yeah, and for me, the base of engineering is learning how to solve problems.
Right.
And life and every day has problems that you need to solve. So technically understanding things, but really the processes that you go through to solving problems is probably the biggest part for me that I continue to use.
And you still carry some of those skills on?
I would echo what Terry just said. It's the same skill. It's that problem-solving ability and understanding how to resolve issues and problems and go through the process.
Let's talk a little bit about what turned out as expected when you got into the career and what turned out different. Kevin, you thought as you started as an engineer it was what was expected, but then things turned different. Obviously, new challenges, new roles. Terry, Caterpillar, what you expected, and tell me a little bit more about that. Not only is a job what you expect, but maybe the business is what you expect, and that's important for someone to think about when they're getting into a career?
Yeah, and for me, with Caterpillar, as I mentioned, that training program was the initial draw, and then keeping me there, I've been there for 28 years, was more of the global aspect and the diversity of things that we do. So in our business, we have plants all over the world. We're dealing with customers all over the world. When I went into engineering, I didn't really think about the world. And with Caterpillar being global and our division being global, it's provided a wealth of opportunities learning about the different cultures and the different needs in the world. So that's probably the biggest surprise for me.
And Kevin, for you, challenges in new roles, and that makes your job fun. Tell me about that, how it's kind of fun to not know what's going on and have things be different.
Yeah, I mean, from a career progression standpoint, and then from day to day, yeah, there again, Terry just mentioned a global, diverse business. I think that also is the interest and draw to me as you see my progression through my career, because I have had a variety of different roles on the sales side specifically, and it is that I think it's every day is new and it's a challenge, and no day is alike, and that's what keeps it exciting and fun for me.
That's the next question area here. To students often ask, tell me about a normal day or a normal week. And you both laugh because there is no such thing in business. There's not a normal day or a normal week. Again, Terry, you mentioned a little bit about traveling, mentoring staff people, working in different areas of the business. Kevin, best part, again, the challenging part is the traveling, meeting the diversity of people, and that international exposure. But when you boil it down, Terry, what skills would you say you use in a daily basis that maybe are normal skills day to day? Anything that sticks out?
Yeah, for me, communication is by far the biggest. And whether it's verbal or working with people in different time zones around the world, having to work over a phone or face-to-face, one-on-ones or in large groups, or written. We live in a world of a lot of emails for communication or texts right now. So from a communication standpoint, all of those areas are critical, and they're required for mentoring, helping young engineers, just like I sought out mentors when I started.
Right.
And being effective with your team. I have people reporting to me all over the world. So communication's got to be number one for me.
All right. Kevin, how about for you? What are skills that you use in a normal day? There may not be a normal day, but you must use some skills repeatedly.
Yeah, Terry mentioned communication. I think the other important one are people skills.
Okay.
You have to relate to people. It is a global, diverse business in our industry, and understanding the needs of people in one part of the world might be completely different than the needs of your employees, or for that matter, dealers and customers in the other part of the world. So that to me is an important element, is you really have to have a grasp of people and understanding of their needs to be effective.
Even as an engineer, because aren't you hiding behind that computer and you never have to talk to people? Or does an engineer have to communicate and understand people?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would think every job might have that. Final question we want to touch on, and students always like to hear about this. What's the career outlook, and what is the pay potentially like in this career? Terry, tell us a little bit about what you've seen and heard as you've worked in the industry about engineering careers. Positive, good pay?
Yeah, I think students want to know. And starting pay anywhere from $60,000 a year to $90,000 a year is probably typical in the Midwest for starting out. So it's a pretty lucrative career to pursue. And if you think about the career going forward, engineering in the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years, we still have to develop things. We still have to solve problems. There's always going to be that. It's probably one of the most stable careers you could have. And it can take you all over the world. It's not something that is tied to the United States either.
Right. Kevin, as far as your career outlook and what you hear as you travel around the world, are there engineers in need?
Absolutely. It's very similar to what Terry said. I mean, I tend to be more on the sales side of my career at Caterpillar, but you know, having that technical background and engineer, and then bringing that person over to the sales and marketing side, somebody has to sell the technical product. So that is a key. Salary ranges would be in the similar range that Terry mentioned for people in the field if you're going to pursue the more sales and marketing side, but with an engineering background.
Right, and again, that's what I was going to ask. Do businesses look at people that come in as an engineer and think that there's other opportunities for them? You're not pigeonholed into one job. They look at you and think, hey, this person might have other opportunities.
Yeah, and actually Caterpillar, at our company, we specifically recruit engineers to be marketing people.
Okay.
So it's intentional in many areas.
And for me, if you look at my career, I've worked in every functional area of our business, whether it be strategy, marketing, product support, engineering, of course. even in to the accounting areas. So it's a great basis to start with. And if you're going into engineering, you can really be in any part of a company.
Excellent thoughts. All right. Kevin, Terry, thank you very much for your time. And again, thanks to Caterpillar for sending these two fine gentlemen over to share a little bit about the engineering career. And also thanks to our students from Park Center High School here in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, doing a great job on the technical end. And again, you can look for another video with these two related to the education and experience. Thanks for joining us.